This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, Unity Day, hosted by the Hazleton Integration Project, was a hit last year. See what's in store this year for the annual event next. Good evening and thank you for joining us at FYI. I'm Ken Kara. We appreciate you watching on SSPTV and SSPTV.com. Let's get to our headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. It looked like a scene from a cruise ship, a special event with a luau theme. But it was right here in our area and all for a great cause. A crowd gathered last night at Genetti's Premier Catering for the official kickoff of the 2015-16 campaign for the United Way of Greater Hazleton. We talked with United Way President and CEO Pat Ward and Dr. David Sosar, the chairman of the United Way's Board of Directors.
I'm happy to say that we're kicking off our campaign for the coming year, and the theme of our campaign is T-Pop. And when people looked and said, what does T-Pop mean? Well, it's very simple. It is the power of possibility. It is what can happen when a community gets together and can turn possibility into reality. It's feeding the hungry, it's clothing the poor, it's helping children get a head start on their pre-kindergarten education, it's helping folks with drug and alcohol problems. I can go on and go on. Our United Way is focused on education, income, and health-related issues in this community, and we are going to be, once again, asking individuals and businesses to contribute to our annual campaign to fund the programs and services of our 24 agencies here in the Greater Hazleton area.
You know what, it's a tremendous organization. We're talking about agencies that really do a tremendous job helping people out within this community. There are a lot of people that still need assistance, need help of all different types. And if there's one group that can help out and be the conduit for a lot of these agencies combined, it's the United Way of Greater Hazleton. And so I would encourage everybody, please, to consider any help that you can give whatsoever, because without your help, the agencies can't do their job in helping out people within these communities. And that's the ultimate goal. People of Hazleton have always been tremendous. I teach the Hazleton history, and the history of this community are the people. And the people are always committed to help on out.
This year's campaign offers some great incentives like the chance to win a 2-year car lease on a vehicle of your choice or $6,000 cash towards a pre-owned vehicle. The car incentive is made possible by Fairway Chevrolet and Subaru, Barber Ford, Berger Family Dealerships, and Independence Toyota. Other incentive prizes include a Nittany Lion statue autographed by Nittany Lion quarterback great Matt McGloin, a year's supply of Jimmy's hot dogs, and much more. To be eligible for a chance to win, you must donate $2, $4, or $5 a week to the United Way campaign. For more information, you can contact the United Way of Greater Hazleton at 570-455-9515. In other news, a West Hazleton man has been charged with making terroristic threats. 30-year-old Joel Wallace will be arraigned on the charge after his medical treatment is concluded. Hazleton police say after receiving information of potential public safety, they conducted an investigation into comments made by Wallace. They say the comments were cause for concern, resulting in the criminal charge. The Hazleton police were assisted by the Hazleton Area School District Police. A press release issued by Hazleton Police states that at no time was any person or child in direct danger and all necessary steps were taken. It also states, quote, this issue had specific facts and circumstances that warranted such action. The confidentiality of the mental health field is highly respected and carefully guarded. The case is being treated as a mental health issue and no additional information will be released, unquote. Moving on tonight, will the Borough of West Hazleton put a temporary moratorium on a hookah lounge land uses? The matter is expected to be discussed by West Hazleton Borough Council next week. A moratorium would put a temporary suspension, which would allow Council up to 45 days to study and possibly revamp the borough's ordinances dealing with such businesses. The borough's decision to revisit the ordinances comes after concerns surfaced over the Conga Hookah Lounge on West Broad Street. That lounge was recently closed when the property owner terminated the lease. Borough Council will hold a special meeting on Tuesday at 5:15 p.m. at the Community Building in West Hazleton. In other news, a Klein Township woman was indicted yesterday by a federal grand jury in Scranton. 45-year-old Lori Haberly of Calairs faces charges of misappropriation of postal funds under the one-count indictment. The indictment alleges that she stole more than $1,100 this year from 2 Schuylkill County post offices. Haberly was a U.S. Postal Service support employee who worked at the Calairs and Quakeg post offices. If convicted, she faces a maximum of 10 years in prison and $250,000 in fines. Well, the event is called Unity Day, and its purpose is just that, to unify the community. Lisa Sugar talks with one of the men behind the special event that will feature fun for the entire family.
It is an event designed to bring the entire area together. This Saturday is the Unity Day 2015, the second event of its kind, and here to tell us all about it is Bob Curry, the founding president of the Hazleton Integration Project, which is at the Hazleton One Community Center. Bob, thanks so much for joining us. Unity Day was a great success the first time around, so you decided to make it bigger and better this time around.
Well, that's kind of the way we try to do everything. First of all, I'd like to thank you for having us here, because obviously it helps us so much to get the word out. And particularly with an event like this one, because this is an event, as you said, that is designed to bring the community together. Now, last year we had terrible weather. It was an unusual day in August, very cold, very chilly, rainy, and we had over 1,500 people. Now, let's cross our fingers, because the weather's supposed to be beautiful this weekend, and we would expect over 2,000 coming through our doors on Unity Day. So obviously we're going to have our second annual Unity Walk to kick off today. And last year, it's just a symbolic walk. Anyone can do it. It's less than a mile. But the symbolism is for those people who understand and truly believe that our community is going to be stronger and stronger as we bring the diverse elements into our community, and we all kind of pull together on the same rope and move in the same direction. That's the idea behind it. We had great success with it last year, and we would expect an even bigger success this year.
Now, you have a number of events planned for this Saturday. There's going to be food, there's going to be games, demonstrations, and more. Tell us a little bit about it and how it's made possible by a unique partnership.
Okay, well, actually, we have several partnerships, and our first partnerships, first and foremost, are with 3 different organizations. The City of Hazleton has been wonderful in helping us to put this together. We also have Cargill, the meat processing plant in Humboldt Industrial Park, and our great and good friends Giant Market. All 3 have done superb work in terms of helping us put this together for the second year. One of the things, when we talk about food, everything starts with food, doesn't it? So think about that. We've got Giant Market and we've got Cargill. And I can tell everybody it's extremely affordable. What we do is a little bit different, because we really do want to bring everybody in the community together, and so we don't want to price it out of anybody's reach. We have a really unique event. We have the entire 3rd grade of the Hazleton Area School District who did photographs of a dog, or drew pictures of a dog, 3rd graders, and it's a Name the Dog contest, and we will be announcing the winner around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. So we're all looking forward to that, and we have demonstrations from the Canine Corps. We've got an indoor kids carnival going on. We've got a free bounce house. So we've got all kinds of activities, and of course the dreaded dunk tank. So I think I nearly drowned last year, so I'll do my best to spend a little less time in it than I did last year.
Well, we hope that you have a tremendous turnout on Saturday. Again, the walk kicks off at 10 a.m., followed
Correct.
by all the festivities until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The weather is supposed to cooperate, and you hope everybody does show that this is a very unified community.
Well, we certainly know that we're moving in the right direction, and I'm a really big believer in inertia. Once you start moving in the right direction, you're going to continue to go that way, and that's the way we feel.
All right, Unity Day 2015, this Saturday, 10 to 5. It's at the Hazleton One Community Center. Please come out and support this great cause.
Thanks, Lisa. I saw the words bounce house, so I'm in. Well, if you're in downtown Hazleton tomorrow night, be careful. There will be dinosaurs around. Hazleton Power is having another movie in the Pocket Park on Broad Street, and this time it's Jurassic Park. Every time I hear the Jurassic Park theme, I stop what I'm doing and follow that music. Well, stop by at 8:15 and enjoy what a critic here at FYI calls one of the greatest films of all time. For more upcoming Power events, go to hazeltonpower.com. Well, up next, we have your local weather forecast and your midday winning lottery numbers, plus our segment Law Talk makes a return. And a bit later, local motorsport journalist Dino Alberto is back, and he'll get us ready for this weekend's Weatherly Hill Climb.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We received a viewer question, and the viewer asks, who handles the estate if there is no will?
Very legitimate question. It happens quite frequently. A lot of people that we see, they be middle-aged or even kind of like myself, heading into the senior category, and they don't have a will. And of course, we can't predict when we're going to die, so it's not unlikely for someone to die without a will. Well, what happens if you have property, and that property's in your name, and you haven't set forth in a will who you want to get that property? What happens to that property? How is it, in the eyes of the law, administered? Well, it's administered under the Pennsylvania Fiduciary and Estate Code. It's called intestate. Intestate means that you don't have a will. And the code also provides that someone, a family member, spouse, brother, sister, cousin, someone has to be appointed by the court to transition that property to where it belongs once you pass away. And that can only be done by what we call a citation. And that citation has to be brought to the Register of Wills. The person seeking to administer the estate has to ask the Register of Wills to appoint them as the administrator of the estate. And they have to give notice of that meeting with the Register of Wills to other relatives, creditors, who may have a right under the fiduciary code to be administered and administer the estate. More often than not, it's a relative. More often than not, nobody objects. But that is a step that is necessary when there is no will designating an executor. If there's an executor named in a will, it's much easier. You take the will up, take the named executor, you get sworn in, and you start administering the estate from there. Without a will, you have to go through the citation process to have someone appointed. But effectively, once that's done, it's no different than having an executor in a will.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
The weather continues to rock in NEPA, but it will cool down a bit later this week, but that's okay because fall is coming and we should embrace it. Here's our local weather forecast from the National Weather Center. Tonight, clear with a low around 55 with a calm wind. On Friday, sunny with a high near 80 degrees. Friday night, mostly clear. Our low will be 57 degrees. For our Saturday, this football in Happy Valley. It's a night game. It will be sunny with a high near 77 during the day. Saturday night, there is a slight chance of showers, 20% chance, and that's after 11 p.m. Partly cloudy. The low will be 56 degrees. On Sunday, a mostly sunny day with a high near 67 as we cool down a bit. Sunday night, partly cloudy with the low around 49. And then on Monday, will be mostly sunny with a high in the mid-60s. And Monday night will be partly cloudy with a low of 50 degrees. And tonight we have your midday Pennsylvania lottery numbers as we do every night. Pick 2, 01, pick 3, 959, pick 4, 5806, and pick 5, 78473. And your lottery numbers on FYI are brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency with 2 locations to serve you, one in Cunningham on Sugarloaf Avenue and the other one in Nescapek on Broad Street. You can call Boyer Insurance in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescapek at 570-752-7683. Sports is next on FYI.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
I hope you're ready for it. We're back in the FYI Fast Lane with local motorsport journalist Dino Alberto here to drop some knowledge on us. This weekend, it's the Weatherly Hill Climb, the fall edition. It kicks off 6 p.m. on Friday night with the parade as all the different cars roll into town. You can see a lot of really good ones. And Dino, I wanted to ask you about a rivalry that kind of has been brewing with local hill climb racing with Giants Despair and the Weatherly Hill Climb. Daryl Danko and George Boland. And the last time Daryl Danko beat out George at the Weatherly Hill Climb during the spring. You say you don't know if George is coming, but just talk about that rivalry. It's something that maybe even people not familiar with the hill climb might recognize these two names.
First of all, in the world of hill climbing, which is, by the way, sanctioned by the Sports Car Club of America, SCCA, those two names, Danko and Borland, yes, there is a rivalry there. They put all of their emphasis into hill climbing. They really don't do any other types of racing itself. So they have purpose-built cars specifically for these hills. Weatherly is a great place to see these two guys get together, and it's just a neat, as you said, a neat rivalry. They get into each other's heads because one guy will go up, he'll do a run, and they need to keep an eye on the times, and it's by split seconds, and it's that close depending on how you did on one particular run. So who does the fastest of the day, who doesn't, and these two guys have been going at this game for a long time.
Let me ask you, when people may be watching, if they go to see it this weekend, they say, oh, they run up the hills 11, 12 times, okay, maybe 10 times. Where's the fun in that? What are they doing? As a racer, as a fan, what even in your mind, what is the fun in that? And where's the strategy? How do you trim down your time?
First of all, to do Weatherly, and anyone you talk to, it's a thrill ride. It's a roller coaster going uphill. It's just that type of fun that these guys have competing there. But you go into the first turn, and really that's a lot of guys that I've talked to, that's where they make or break the rest of their run, because it is so technical at that track there, or that hill, because you could sweep into turn number one. It's probably the easiest turn you got there, but if you overshoot it, if you go in too fast, if you don't turn it quite enough, then you have really no time to make up, as opposed to some of the other hills. So, you're beating and banging your brains, and it's a matter of just shaving, again, those seconds off. And how do you get into those corners, and how do you throttle off in the short chutes, and take it on to the next turn, and you got a hairpin there. And there's actually one point in that hill where it's called the jump, and you may have seen pictures of it, but pretty interesting. You come flying off that at the top of that hill, and it's just all about a thrill. The drivers love it. They have nothing but praise about Weatherly, and it is probably one of the most sought-after wins on the Pennsylvania Hill Climb Association circuit.
And lastly, I wanted to ask you about some tragedy in racing recently with Justin Wilson, the incident that happened at Pocono. You mentioned something locally as well, away from the track even. And almost every time we do this segment, you mentioned the family of drivers, the family of racing really in this area, even on the national level, I guess. And you see that as these drivers still support and get through these tough times.
That is something that has just always driven me about being affiliated with motorsports, especially locally, is that there's just such a family connection. I've just been working on a story, as a matter of fact, on the Barbushes now, with a fourth generation of drivers. Kim Barbush is, not Kim, but her daughter Rebecca Barbush, racing karts right now, and her brother Joe, the second, carrying on a legacy that began with their great-grandfather. And when these tragic events take place, it is just astonishing how the racing community, the racing family, pulls together and shows the support to that family. But the family themselves, because it's in their blood, and this is what they do, and this is what they live for, and this is what their passion is, they get right back out there, and the best medicine that it seems to be for them is to go continue racing and doing what they do best, because that's what they live for.
That's what will continue to happen around here and all across the country. Dino, we always appreciate your time. Look out for his work in the Standard Speaker. He has a ton of stories to tell. FYI is about to look like C-SPAN during a vote on the House floor, with all the numbers up on your screen thanks to a lot of cross-country action. Here's the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard. The Hazelton area boys, they beat Nanakoke and Northwest area but lost to Berwick. The Preppers, they beat Northwest and Berwick. In Wyoming Valley Conference girls action, Hazelton area earned wins over Berwick and Northwest. MMI, they did the same thing. In the Schuylkill League, the Marion boys lost to Tamaqua and got victories over Minersville and Columbia Montour Votech. The Marion Phillies swept their meet with the Berkeley Heighton and Schuylkill Haven. The Tamaqua girls also ran to 2 wins as well. The North Schuylkill boys swept by Monomoy area and Blue Mountain. Shenandoah beat Pottsville. The North Schuylkill girls won a close one with Monomoy area and fell to Blue Mountain. And the 4-6-2 girls running crew, they slid by Pottsville. In girls tennis, Hazleton area stays unbeaten in the Wyoming Valley Conference, and MMI, they lost against a very good Wyoming Seminary team. The Cougars beat Wyoming area in golf. Jaron Triano and Jordan Pick and Matt Boretsky each scored 41 for the Big HA. In college golf, Penn State Hazleton placed 3rd out of 7 teams at a match at Mountain Valley Golf Course, hosted by Penn State Schuylkill. The local Lions lost in women's volleyball, losing 3-0 against Penn State Scranton. Nieves Alonso had 6 aces for Penn State Hazleton. To high school girls volleyball, where Tamaqua beat Catasauqua, Mackenzie McVicker, along with having a great name, she had 6 kills for the Lady Raiders, and Alexis Baddock had 7 aces and 4 kills. Tamaqua took a loss in boys and girls soccer. In the girls game, Taylor Fritz had 17 saves for the Lady Raiders. And the Cubs, they got a big win over the Pirates on Wednesday in 12 innings to pull within 3 games of the Pirates for the top spot in the National League wildcard race. Thursday is $1 burger night at Bottlenecks. Get a juicy 4th pound burger for only $1 all night long.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Department of Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Wilkes-Barre is hosting a community town hall event for veterans and family members on Monday, September 21st at 5 p.m. The meeting is intended as a means of fostering communications between veterans and the center. Experts will field questions on a variety of topics, as well as assist with benefits and services. This meeting is open to the public. Our next announcement, a sports celebrity memorabilia auction, will be held Wednesday, October 7th at 7 p.m. at the Diamond United Methodist Church, located on West Diamond Avenue in Hazleton. Doors open at 6 p.m. and items will include signed trading cards, photos, books, baseballs, and much more. $2 donation includes refreshments and benefits the Hazleton Enlarged Ministry. For more info, just call 570-454-4661. And finally, Holy Trinity Orthodox Church, 223 South Kennedy Drive in McAdoo, will be having a pierogi and halushki sale Saturday, September 18th from 10 a.m. to 5:30. Please call ahead to secure your order, 570-929-2179. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of James Thomas Trentley, formerly of Hazleton. Memorial is Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Annunciation Parish. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Robert Toth of Drums. Robert, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Remember, tomorrow we have another Football Friday feature as we get you all ready for Friday night's games. Plus, right now on our Facebook page, there's some bonus material from our FYI Fast Lane segment as Dino Alberto talks about some upcoming races in our region. That's it for tonight. Take it easy, everyone.